Math class is hard, and I'm sure all of us have said that sentence way too many times. Even I, the one that has a knack for solving math problems, have said that sentence, especially in the past years. And not only was I having troubles with math, but also multiplication problems seemed very difficult for me to do. And I needed to pass my math class, so I asked myself, how do I make this easier for me to understand? One of the things I noticed is looking back on the process of doing a multiplication problem is that it's such a mess. There are so many numbers. Why does there have to be so many numbers just to figure out the answer? And if any of you have the same problem, I have good news for you. I have found a way to solve multiplication problems without using any numbers in the process. Not only that, but you won't even be multiplying or even adding. This is the Japanese method for multiplication. Yes. To introduce you into the basic steps, I'll use an easy problem that we already know the answer so we can focus on how the process all works. Second, I will do a little bit more difficult problem that we do not already know the answer to see if we actually do come up with the correct answer, and also to figure out how to section off this is ones place, tens place, hundreds place, so on. And for the third, how this method is a great workout for your brain. So first off, the first problem I want to do, 2 times 3, which we already know that the answer is 6. So we can only focus on how the process, see if it gets this to number 6. So for the first digit is 2, so we will be drawing 2 lines going in that direction. And for the second number is 3, so we will be drawing 3 lines going in this direction. And now we count, so it's a lot of x's, and then we count each time that they cross. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's the answer. Now a little bit more difficult problem. I'm trying my best to erase that. Is 132 times 213. Or is that right? No, it's not. Nope. That's too big of a number. I changed it to 13 times 14. A lot smaller. So now you're probably all thinking that the first thing to do is draw 13 lines. Well, that's wrong because we don't want the process to look like a mess, and that would be a lot of lines. And notice how I have said you draw the first digit and not the first number. So in this case, the first digit is 1. So you would be drawing 1 line. This marker is dying. Okay, this one works. Nope. What to do with your markers? There we go. So that's the first digit. Now the second digit is 3, so you draw 3 parallel lines going in the same direction. So that's what parallel means. And now we do the same thing with the 14, but going in the opposite direction. So you draw 1 for 1, and then 4 lines for 4. Now, this is kind of like the most difficult part. You can kind of see how these intersections are far away from the other intersections. And you draw a bubble around those, and that would be the ones place. And you can kind of see how these intersections match up with these intersections. So you put a circle around that, and that would be the tens place. And over here, this last one will be the hundreds place because of the distance between the intersections. And just like we're all used to, you start with the one section, and you count up each time that they cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As we are all used to, you got to carry that 1. So I'm going to leave the 2 over here and have a plus 1 over here for 1 to be carried over. And now you count the tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus the 1 equals 8. And then you got to count the hundreds place, which is 1. And that is the answer to 13 times 14, is 182. So now you know how to solve multiplication problems using Japanese method. However, I would not use this method when the teacher tells you to show your work because they will definitely give it back to you to redo. But you can use this method as a cool trick to blow your friends' minds, just like I hope I did with yours. And maybe you would even find this as really fun to do and will continuously use this method so much that you'll start remembering the answers to these difficult multiplication problems, or others will have to otherwise use a calculator. As a way to introduce you to the basic steps of this foreign method, I started off with the problem of 2 times 3, which we all know equals 6. So we already knew what the destination would be, and so we could focus on the process to see if we do get into that correct answer. Second, I did 13 times 14, so we don't know the answer right off the bat, so we could really work out through the process, and that really is the answer. I used a calculator. And yeah, and also because of not needing to use a calculator, your brain will become stronger because it's remembering this new method and all the new numbers. Math class is hard at times. You just gotta make it easier for yourself, and maybe that is finding a new method for you to understand. This is how I stopped saying that math class is hard and started saying that it was fun. That is also how I'm now in a college level math class. I hope that all of you think this is fun and will keep on using it either as a trick for your friends or just because math is fun.